It's another episode of Savagetimetv TV. I'm your host, AB Brizzly. Today we got special guest Red Letter, bro. How you doing today?
Peace, my brother. I'm doing good, feeling good.
That's good, man. It's good. We're down here in Atlanta, man. Thank you for the opportunity for being able to interview you, bro. I just wanted to say that before we even get started. Thank you for the opportunity. For sure.
Oh, for sure. Thank you, man. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited.
Okay, so let's get into it. What's the reason why you make music? Just starting off, why do you make music?
Well, I make music. I would say it was a family thing.
Okay.
You know, it started off as a family thing. My mom was into the music. She introduced me at a very young age, and I just kind of took it and ran with it.
Okay.
I never stopped. Yeah,
Okay.
never stopped. I always loved it.
Okay, and we were talking offline about our boy Jeremy Fadden. We love it. We love it. So,
Yeah.
So tell us where you from, where you born, man. How'd you get here?
Okay, yeah, I was born in Arkansas. So, you know, Arkansas it's kind of country. Some people would describe it as country, but you know, it's home to me.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
home to
man.
me. But yeah, I lived there till I was like 3.
Okay.
Then I moved to Mississippi. And then from there, I moved here to Georgia when I was 8.
Okay.
So yeah. Darren McFadden is like our superstar.
Okay.
You know, we still give big props to him and Arkansas. Bill Clinton. People know Bill Clinton
Mhm.
was from Arkansas and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
a lot of pride in being from Arkansas for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with the music, what does Arkansas influence you, or would you say more Georgia? It has more of an influence on what you're making when it comes to music.
I would say Georgia because Georgia is the first place where I really started paying attention to the music in church.
Mm-hmm. So it was the church where it got you. First.
Yeah, it was the church. That's how I got interested in playing the piano.
Okay.
You know, we would go to church here in Conyers. You know what I'm saying? And I always thought the musicians were like the coolest people there. I'm like, dang, he's over there making all this noise. And it sounds so good. Yeah, everybody's loving it. I'm like, I want to be like that dude. And so I met him. I met the musician. He started showing me stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, I just kind of became obsessed with it when I was younger.
Okay, so it was definitely the church that got you into it first. I could definitely see that because I grew up in church too, and the sounds you be hearing, just especially from the piano.
Yeah.
The piano, man. So can you talk to me about that? Just the piano. How long are you like a beast at it? Like, how would you say, like, how'd you come apart with that, man? Like, because it's just such an interesting instrument, bro. Like, I always see people playing, it looks so hard to play. Do you, like, read the music? Do you play it just off the remembering? Like, tell me about that.
So yeah, with that, I started piano when I was 9. That's when I first started taking lessons.
Okay.
And I came up doing classical. So yeah, I was learning the whole thing, reading, doing recitals, and all of that stuff. Doing little exercises like every day, just having to until my hands was hurting. Like that's just we kind of we had a routine basically that we had to practice. We had to come there every week, do recitals. But then from there, I learned how to play by ear. When I started playing like in church more and started getting in bands and stuff, then I had to start playing by ear because you don't always have the music right in front of you, and then in church, somebody might just, bust out with a song.
Right. You just gotta be able to go.
I can't be like, oh, where the music? I gotta start playing with it. So
okay.
yeah.
So it kind of made you better.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
It made me way better. It took me to a whole nother level when I had to kind of, get with people and they'll start whatever key they want, whatever speed they want, and I gotta accompany them. So yeah, it definitely got my skills up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe your sound for us, just like with your latest projects and the kind of music you're making now? If somebody said describe your sound, how would you say it sounds like?
Okay. Well, for my latest stuff, I would say my sound would be kind of more. It's R&B. It would go under R&B, but it's not like, because R&B sounds a lot of different ways today. There's R&B that sounds like straight kind of rap or hip hop, and it's still called R&B. But mine is more traditional with influences of the modern. So like I still love like trap drums and 808s and stuff like that.
For sure.
So I'll throw that, on top of something that would be called traditional, where I'm giving them churchy melodies and like I'm really, doing harmonies and stuff like that, which a lot of people don't do anymore. So I had the harmonies and real thick, musical elements on top of some trap drums or on top of 808 and stuff like that. So I try to blend the old with the new.
Okay.
With mine.
And influences, who would you say, if anybody influences you, like that are current artists, old artists, dead or alive, like who influences you, your work?
Okay. Let me see. My top 3 influences I would say would be Tank, definitely Tank.
Okay.
I like Tank for his like, you know, the way he sings. He keeps it he's not trying to kind of rap sing like a lot of people are doing. He still wants to really sing to him.
Yeah, true.
So, you know, I love Tank. Yeah. Prince. I really like Prince.
Okay.
Especially the fact that he plays most of the instruments on all his music. So, you know, that's something that I like to do.
Okay.
Let me see, Tank, Prince, and Chris Brown. I love Chris Brown too.
Yeah, I always tell people, I think Chris Brown slept on, man. You know, he had his little, you know, his little run-ins, but I think he's undervalued, honestly. I really do. Like, I really think, like, when you really sit down and look at his discography, it's like, bro, he should definitely be getting talked about more than he gets talked about.
Man.
The Prince thing, I'm okay with that. I'm a more Michael Jackson over Prince. But
Okay.
you know, that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see what you're talking about because he definitely played the instruments. I definitely give him that. He definitely played the instruments. Would any of those people be a part of your dream collabs? Like, if you ever just wanted to, could ever work with anybody, would those also be your same, or be anybody different that you maybe want to work with?
Okay, if I think of dream collabs, it would probably be more on the lines of producers, you know, because you know, I feel like they could bring out something different than working with another artist could.
Okay.
In my opinion, I want to work with Brian Michael Cox.
Okay.
Brian Michael Cox, he produced. So there was a label called Noontime back in the day, and they that's the label that signed August Alsina. That's like the newer version of Noontime, but back then they had like Jazzy Faye. Who were they producing? So they were producing a lot of stuff for like B2K. Stuff like that. Back, you know what I'm saying? Back in that area. B2K, Mario, the young Mario with the braids.
I see that way.
So yeah, Brian Michael Cox was one of those producers on there. He's a piano player, and he produced a lot of stuff like that. Marcus Houston, he was doing, you know, all them songs that have all that piano, that real R&B piano. He did a lot of that stuff. So him, yeah, he produced. And Troy Taylor, he's a great producer. He brought out. He produced Sweet Lady, that Tyrese song, Sweet Lady. Yeah, that's actually him singing the backgrounds on that song. Okay. Troy Taylor, yeah, and he discovered Trey Songz too. He produced like Trey Songz, all that first stuff that he did. So yeah, those two guys, those are my I was like, dang, I would love to work with them, and they both live in Atlanta.
Dang,
so
I was about to say, you Atlanta, man, being in Atlanta is it's just like you so close to everything. Could you just tell us about how Atlanta itself has influenced your journey as an artist?
Man, Atlanta is like, I feel like Atlanta is just the hub of, you know, music, especially our music. I feel like just Atlanta is the hub, you know. Back before everything was all crazy like this, every single night you could go somewhere and hear some live music, and then you go to those places and there's no telling who will come in there. Like big, you know what I'm saying, artists, producers, they're just coming in regular. You think a spot is a hole in the wall, and then somebody with Grammys just come in there and they'll perform, they'll sing. So it's like, you know, it's no telling who you can meet, and it's no telling like how fast things could pick up for you just living in Atlanta, because you don't have to come from anywhere. They're not flying you in. Studios are real big here. Like I used to work at a studio in Atlanta called Icon, and I was kind of like doing some in-house production over there, and that's how I got to work with Bobby V, Young Jock, T.I.'s son, Damani.
Okay.
I ended up doing some production for him. So it's like, and that's just all because I knew somebody who was at that studio, you know.
Atlanta's really the spot to really, for real, network.
Yeah.
It sounds like. Okay, so switching it up, what has been the biggest hurdle you've had to overcome on your journey as just an artist? If you could tell us that, the biggest hurdle you've had to overcome.
The biggest hurdle I had to overcome, I would say not finding a way to keep my music from like staying in the same spot.
Okay.
You know, as far as the way it sounds. Like
progressive.
Yeah. That's pretty much been the biggest hurdle, because, you know, I like a certain type of sound, but I gotta as an artist, you know, a lot of times you gotta realize that you making the music for everybody, you know. I mean, you don't want to compromise all the way. You still want to make it to how you want, but you still have to be mindful of, you know, if you want to, if you want to sell and you want, you know, your fans to continue to support you, you got to cater to them as well, you know. So I think that's one of the things. I don't want to keep making the same type of music over and over again. I do want to grow, even though, you know, I have a certain thing that I like. I do have to, you know, make it advance.
Okay. And what do you enjoy the most about just the process, just making music? Just what do you enjoy the most about it?
I would say like recording.
Okay, so recording.
Yeah, I love recording.
Okay.
Recording and performing.
Okay, performing.
Yeah.
Okay. So so I know you make beats and all that and that too. If you had to choose, would you rather be in the studio, just cooking up, making music, you know, creating, or would you rather be performing live?
Yeah, I'd rather be performing.
So you like to perform. So you definitely like to perform.
Yeah, that's more my thing.
Okay. Okay. Moving on to some other stuff. Mental health, bro. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Something I always wanted to talk about with my interviews. Define that for me. What's your definition of mental health?
Okay, let me see. My definition of mental health is, I would say, you know, having thoughts that kind of agree with how you see yourself, or you know, having positive thoughts that agree with, you know, what you want your life to go, how you want your life to go. I would say that's having good mental health.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Having pretty much thinking in a way that aligns with how you see yourself and direction you're going.
Like we were talking about before, I saw you're definitely into matter of fact, you can explain it more. I saw that you had the picture of the looks like the placenta on there.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, I told you, I was like, yo, can you talk to us about that? Because I was like, yo, that's interesting. What's that about? Like,
okay. So that picture was the underside of a giant like water lily.
Oh, okay.
And underneath it, you can see that design, and
oh wow,
that design is like. That's like a geometric design. So it goes in, it's called sacred geometry. And that's basically like a framework that a lot of creation follows even down to a mathematical preciseness. So I'm interested in that because it's almost like you're seeing the blueprint of what created everything. So yeah, that goes into like metaphysics. So like there's a spiral called Fibonacci spiral, and that spiral is the same spiral on like seashells. It's the same spiral that goes into like the way these the tail of like certain plants curls up, or it even goes like you can map it inside your ear, but it's all the same, like it's all the same ratio.
Same ratio.
So it's like, I mean, I think it's a blueprint of like creation in a sense.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Bro, I'm telling you, I'm definitely. We're on the same thing. I'm not that too deep into it, but it's something I'm definitely like interested in. And I was like, bro, you brought up sacred geometry, the background for your Instagram picture. Like, I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, yo, what? It rings a bell, but like, what? Even what's that? Explain that to us. Like,
okay,
what's that?
so that's called the circle of life, and that is that's the way that creation starts at the very smallest level. So, like when you have a cell. I know you remember back in school when you learned about mitosis and all of that. When the cell splits and it goes and it splits, and that's how things grow. Okay. So when you have that little very first cell, it's a circle, it splits, and it always moves into the two cells. They're not beside each other. It's like one is kind of overlapping. So that right there is called the vesica Pisces, and from there. It always splits this way. It just splits, and it forms that shape, the circle of life. But that symbol is like tens of thousands of years old. So you looking at something, and they're like, how do people know, how cells are dividing way back then if they were supposed to be primitive or they didn't have any, microscopes, anything.
Exactly.
But they're mapping out mitosis, drawing it on a stone. It just makes you wonder. I like to think about that stuff.
Exactly. Some things are being left out. Some things left out, and I think I had to have you talk about it because people like don't know. It's like, bro, you got to go out there and get information's out there, and it's, you know what I mean. You got to find it for yourself, and there's things out there, like you said, that don't make sense. Like how are you creating this, something that we can't barely understand now. Yeah. But 10,000 years ago, you telling me we couldn't do this, but you out here doing that.
Right.
Getting back to the music, Dear Lord. Saw that. I listened to it. Explain to me the process of making that track.
Okay, so with that, I started off with the keyboard.
Yeah, but say you produced it, right?
Mm-hmm. I started off with the piano loop, and I went ahead. I was trying to work on some different ways of working as far as when it comes to production, because I would usually make the whole beat, then start writing the song, or then start recording. So this time I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with this piano loop, and then I'm gonna record on it, and then come back to the production. So I did the piano loop, then I immediately started writing and recording. Then afterwards, I was like, man, I showed it to some people, and they were like, man, it sounds good like that. You don't even have to, don't make the beat. You don't have to finish the beat. Just leave it like that. Leave it open. And I thought about it. I'm like, okay, I'll just leave it like this. And yeah, that was the first type of song that I made like that, with just no full beat. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of open, just with the keys and the clap, and I like it. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the production, who are your influences when it comes to the production?
Okay. So for the production, my favorite producers, it's a team of producers called the Underdogs.
Okay.
And same type of thing with Brian Michael Cox. They made a lot of those B2K songs. They made a lot of those Chris Brown songs, early Chris Brown songs. Yeah. They made that B2K song, Gots to Be. They made that song. Okay. They made that. They produced that. Omarion, they did a lot of those. When he broke off from B2K, they were still doing that. Mm. So yeah, I like them. And it's a team. One dude plays the keys. Damon something. He used to date one of the Kardashians. And another dude, they have a team. And then some older producers that I like, Devontae Swing from Jodeci. Mm-hmm. So, plenty of hits.
Okay.
Plenty of hits from
you
him.
Definitely into the early 2000s, that R&B, that sound. You definitely heavy into that.
Yeah.
That was a good time though. That was a good time. That's just something that I think if we got back to, that people would actually definitely like and enjoy.
I think, I agree.
For sure. Where do you feel about the state of R&B right now, though? Like, how do you just feel about it as a whole? Do you feel it's in a good spot? Do you feel like it's kind of... How do you feel about it?
I think it's in a pretty good spot. I think it's definitely evolving. Mm. It's and it's getting more like soulful. It's getting more true to R&B. They're not doing the rapping as much. And when there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying, any type of way of doing it is wrong, but I like where it's going with cuz you got people like Jacquees, who is R&B a few years ago was Drake, and he's mostly rapping. So now we got the singers coming out more, claiming the R&B. And it's a lot of dope females in R&B too. Summer Walker, okay. Her stuff is crazy.
You like Summer Walker?
Yeah, her stuff is crazy.
Okay.
And then who else? Like Queen Naja, she got some dope stuff too. So okay. I think it's good. I think it's definitely coming back, and it can battle with hip hop. Okay. Now if hip hop was kind of just killing everything for a minute. Okay. So yeah, I think it's coming back.
All right, going to some other things. Just talking about current events. We knew that coronavirus has been out here crazy, but we also saw, George Floyd and Marbury. Could you tell me about just your thoughts on that, just those situations?
Man, of course, those are tragic situations. Like, it really hurts to just know that that's really what's going on. Even more than what they're showing, right. Even more than what we really seeing. Like, we know it's probably happening 10 times the rate that we figuring out about it.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
that's really what's like, just thinking. You would think that we came so far, right, and that we're at a certain place, but it's just kind of getting uncovered that, people still feel the same, and of course the thing is like racism. You know what I'm saying? With racism, I think that it's the way that people already feel about you. So even if they pass a law, that law can't make them really start feeling differently on the inside. So they're gonna use the laws to still inflict what they want to inflict. So it's really hard to think about how it can really change without stuff that's going on like right now. We're just, we making the change ourselves.
Okay. I was like, we were even talking about it. We was down here, just it's different. Like just the energy down here, down south.
Mm-hmm.
Just with everything going on, things are people are more. I guess feel they can do a lot more stuff, have more leeway. Because I seen guys walking around here, they had M4s, all types of stuff, and I'm like, yo, when we asked them, like, yo, you took the M4 to go to the grocery store? He was like, bro, like, with all that's going on, bro, they acting wild out here, and you don't want them to roll up on me with that bullshit. So I was like, I was like, damn, it's definitely different than it is up north. It's definitely more supercharged down here, like,
yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, for real. So it's definitely it's crazy, man. But we out here still making it happen, chasing our dreams, good stuff like that. Could you talk to us about your future goals for like the next 2 or 3 years, just musically, professionally?
Okay, for the next 2 or 3 years, I really see myself branching out.
Okay.
Like into other avenues. You know what I'm saying? Even other than music, because I feel like I've worked on music a whole lot for the past, like 6 or 7 years, and I'm just like getting interested in other things. Like as far like Forex, I'm into Forex.
So you're into Forex. Okay.
Yeah, I got some friends that are succeeding with it, and I'm like, that looks interesting, and that looks like something. Forex is cool to me because you're not like for performing. I have to be at the show. I have to be there for 2 hours. I can't do anything else.
Presence isn't needed to make the money.
Right. For Forex, I can set the trade up and then I can go do something else. I can go perform while the trade is trading or something like that. So I'm not really trading time for money with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just making money by thinking. Okay. So that's real interesting to me.
Okay. All right. Forex is definitely dope. That's definitely something you should get into. We can talk about that offline because I got some people I can put you into contact with.
Okay.
Can definitely help you with that.
Cool.
So you're an influence for people, just musically, your fans. There's probably people that watch you because, you're out here chasing your dreams, chasing your passions. And we know that that's something that, a lot of people don't get to do. Chase their dreams openly or they gets cut short. So if you had a message to just your fans, especially your youth, what would that be just about if it had to be about chasing your dreams and following your passions?
I would say the number one thing is don't be afraid to do the wrong thing, or don't be afraid of what people are going to think about what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't already have the judgment of people going to say this about it, people are going to say that about it. You just got to do what you want and put it out there. It's billions of people in the world. Somebody's going to like what you're doing. Somebody's going to like it. Like you can look online and there's podcasts about people talking about socks. People talking, you know what I'm saying? People
for real, that's people making millions reviewing toys.
Exactly. You got gamers. You got people with millions of views. All they're doing is taking brand new things out of the box. Who can't take something out of a box? So if they're succeeding doing that, whatever you want to do, you can definitely do it. Just put it out there and don't be afraid to make the wrong move because you're gonna learn from it. A lot of people will want to have the perfect plan before they do something, or to have, I wonder, is this the right move? You got to just make a move, and if it's the wrong move, you'll know. If it's the right move, you'll know. And then you know how to make the next move, and then make the next move. But you got to make that first move.
Okay. All right. So wrapping it up, where can everybody find you? Because I know you got new fans off of this. Where can they find you? Just like if they want to get in contact with you, see your content, where can they find you at?
Okay, so Instagram, Red X Letter. youtube.com/Red X Letter. Those are my main 2 places. Okay. Instagram and YouTube.
Okay. All right. Well, again, thank you for the opportunity for letting us interview you, bro. It was great. This is a great interview with some dope content. This is not going to be the last interview because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be down here some more, and I know you're going to keep grinding, so I know we're going to have some more stuff to talk about soon. So this is Savagetimetv TV. Catch us everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. This is some great music, great time. We out. See you.
Peace.